Hey everyone, I just got a gigantic box from CoverGirl. It includes, from what I am understanding, their entire 2018 makeup line, everything that's new. We've got Katy Perry stuff, we've got completely repackaged stuff, like it looks totally different. I'm loving the packaging. I haven't tried anything yet. Actually, I've tried one thing so far. They've included almost every single kind of product that you need to do a full face of makeup. So I decided to make the obvious choice and we're gonna sit down and do it together. Obviously, I got nothing on my face. I've got like moisturizer stuff, but everything else is going to be CoverGirl as long as it's in this box. I'm gonna try to make it work. Let's see what happens. You guys know I love drugstore makeup and I love trying it out for you guys. So I really hope this video is helpful for you guys. If it is, give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe, find me on social media, all of those things. All right, we got a lot of things to try out, so let's do it. All right, first things first. So our first product is the Vitalist Go Glow Luminizing Lotion. In that gigantic trunk of makeup, they also included these really big handy dandy like maps to the makeup. And so I've got official descriptions of each product. This luminizing lotion is only available in 2 shades and includes vitamin E, B3, B5, and it's a lightweight moisture with light reflecting pigments that's just supposed to be like an illuminating moisturizer. Usually this is not something I would go for because I'm more of a just like a basic primer girl. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a primer. I'm going for the lighter shade, which is Daybreak. And I think I'm gonna try to keep it off of my T-zone because I'm already pretty glowy naturally over there. So I'm just gonna go onto my cheeks and the high points right here. It feels pretty tacky on my skin, which is not something that I love. I can see a little hint of sparkles here and there. I already felt glowy when I started this. This is not a product I really need. I'm sure it would be much better tested on a dry skin person. For me, I don't think I'd go for it, mostly because it's very scented. It doesn't smell bad, but I'm not going for scented face makeup. It's just not what I like. Our next product is the CoverGirl True Blend Pre-Touching Palette, and basically it is just a color correcting palette with a yellow, green, and purple. I would have liked to see a salmon tone because that's what I really like to use under my eyes to cancel out the discoloration, but I have more than a couple little spots of redness that I think this green could help with. Personally, I never use purple corrector. I don't really know who does. I don't really see people use it a lot in videos, but they keep putting it out there. I think it's just because it looks pretty. I don't know. I know that it's supposed to be good for like sallowness and brighten up your skin tone, but I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. This green corrector, it's correcting, but I don't think it's really working any miracles. Not to be overly negative because I feel like we're kind of off to a bad start, but again, I don't think this is something that I would buy for myself just because this is the only color that I would be all about using. And I don't know, it's a whole palette. This would take too much room in my bag on my table. And it's just like, nope, don't really need it. But I do love the packaging. I love their repackaging. You'll see more things. Actually, I didn't even mention it. This one, I love the packaging. It just looks so much more modern, so much more now. It's minimal. I love the font. I love the black and white. It's just so good. Good job, CoverGirl. I can say that. So since they didn't include a CoverGirl foundation in the box, I'm just gonna bust out one of my oldies goodies, absolute favorite CoverGirl foundations. This one I used for maybe a year straight at one point. It is just so good. It is the 3-in-1 foundation. I love it. You need it in your life. I'm gonna apply this and come right back. We're not really talking about this one so much, so you don't need to see it, right? I don't know. All right, that shade might not really be working for me, but let's just ignore that fact. Also, let's ignore the fact that I got foundation all over my shirt. Oh, I hate when that happens. Like I said, we're off to a great start. All right, next up, let's try this concealer. Again, I really love the packaging. It's called the Vitalist Healthy Concealer. Actually, I meant the design of the packaging more than the actual packaging. I actually don't really love pin brush kind of concealers like this. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like it collects a lot of the product. It's kind of annoying to have to like twist up the product, especially on the first application. It takes about 90 years no matter what. I hate that. And I don't know, I just never fall in love with one. Maybe these are gonna be great. I don't know. Basically, these come in 6 shades. I have all 6 shades right here. And it seems like it doesn't go very dark at all. I feel like at this point, everyone has the awareness. They're looking at the shade range. And I mean, we're looking at it with a more discerning eye and saying, hey, does this really include everyone? And I don't want to make this like a whole side thing, but I know it's drugstore. I know they're trying to like keep costs down. It is a business at the end of the day. But at the same time, people just really aren't accepting this kind of thing anymore. Basically, I'm just saying it's something we're all very, very aware of now, and we're looking for it, especially whenever you're seeing something like concealer or foundation. Okay, wait a minute. I'm just looking at these right now and they don't have shade names on them. On the paper, they have shade names. So it's probably on the outside packaging that they don't have on these. So I'm just gonna guess it and see what happens. Come on, girl. It says it's a vitamin infused formula and it's supposed to brighten, and it's also supposed to be full coverage. We will see. I like a full coverage. So if it is, I'll be happy. If it isn't, I'm gonna tell you all about it. All right, I'm going for this one. Can't tell you what shade it is. Oh, might be a little light, but I tried. Just gonna go down the nose because it says it's a brightening, and obviously I chose a very bright color also. A little bit on the chin, and I'm just gonna top it out with my slanted kabuki kind of brush. This is my favorite concealer brush from Make It Peak. I always think of these pin type concealers as more of like a highlighter, and they're definitely more lightweight, and this one seems to be exactly what I expected. Another place I always need concealer, even if I have a more full coverage foundation, is around my nose. And I usually only like to use more solid cream concealers around my nose because I feel like they have a better wear time, but I'm just gonna try this one. I really do like the way it blended on under my eyes and even around my nose, but it's not full coverage. It says it's full coverage. They lied. It's not uncommon. I do like a full coverage concealer under my eyes, but a lot of people don't. So if you like more of like a medium coverage, something that's more lightweight and brightening, I think this actually could be a good concealer for you. But me right now, I'm like, I'm about to do a full face. Like, I want more concealer. So I think I'm just gonna try to like add more. Maybe that will help. It might actually hurt in the end. I'm gonna try it just a little bit more. Come on, a little dabble do ya? Nope. I think this is gonna be as good as it's gonna get, and you can still see some of the blue and green tones of the veins under my eyes, which is a problem for me always, forever. I don't think it's getting any better at this point. They didn't include a loose powder to set concealer with, and I just do not want to use the powder that they included to set my under eyes. Just makes me nervous. That is just not something I'm willing to do. I don't think it's like using the product and giving it a fair shot. So I'm just gonna set my under eyes with my favorite loose powder, the Laura Mercier. Are you surprised? Probably not. But they did include new powders. Very exciting. Very cute. Can you tell I'm in love with this packaging? It is the Vitalist Healthy Powder. Again, this powder is available in 4 shades. We don't have to go into it, but that's pretty limited. It's supposed to give moisture and diffuse the look of imperfections without ever looking cakey. It's supposed to be lightweight and cut out shine. I'm grabbing the color Buff Beige. Part of me feels like they might just be introducing this number of shades and more shades will come later. I'm not really sure. I don't work for them. I don't know. Ooh, okay. This is actually coming off darker, much darker than I thought, and also way more pink. So I might want to go a shade down to Classic Ivory. Ooh, that's not what I think of myself as, but maybe. That actually does look more like me. Okay, I'm gonna use a big poof brush and just kind of put it on all over my face very, very lightly. It definitely does cut down on shine, and it doesn't seem to add a lot of coverage, which is really good for a powder that you're just gonna throw in your purse. Okay, just from my limited experience with these 2 shades, I'd say they run a lot darker than they look in the packaging. So be aware of that whenever you're looking at them. They didn't include a bronzer, contour, blush kind of thing, so I'm gonna do that off camera and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm bronzed up, I'm blushed up. In case you were wondering, I used the Milani Luminoso Baked Blush as usual. And I also used the Kat Von D Shade and Light Contour Powder palette. That was difficult to say. Now it is time for highlight, and they came out with 6 shades of the Vitalist Healthy Glow. They come in these little pots. They almost look like cream shadows, but they're cream highlighters, and all of the shades look really pretty. This is shade number 1, and this one is super, super creamy and moussey. They kind of vary. It seems like some of them are a little bit harder, not hard, but you have to like work at it a little bit, and other ones like look kind of downright moussey. Downright moussey. I don't really know. This one is a super, super, almost like silvery light shade, but I think I'm more attracted to number 3, which is more of a rosy highlight. I've been really liking rosy highlight shades lately, and I kind of like it like all over the cheek. I'm gonna use my beauty blender. Can you see it? Can you see it? I can see it. It's not a super intense highlight, and I can't really tell that it's the rosy tone that it is, but that's actually kind of better because like if I move this highlight up on different parts of my face, it's not gonna make me look like I'm putting blush on other parts of my face that don't really need blush. I don't know if this is giving me all the highlight I wanted in my life, so I'm gonna go to that super moussey number 1 super light and bright shade. I'm gonna try this out. I'm gonna be brave. I'm gonna go for it. Oh, yeah, this is definitely the highlight if you are like a highlight queen. Oh yeah, it's giving it to me right on the cheekbone. And this is definitely a shade that you could put kind of all over your face. I'm gonna put it down my nose. I don't really like to use a beauty blender for that because I can't see what I'm doing. I'm going in blind. Yeah, this is giving me more of what I wanted, but it's nice that they offer shades that are more intense and less intense. The only bad thing about that is if you're buying at a store that doesn't have testers, you don't really know what you're getting. I'm also thinking a beauty blender was not exactly the right choice for applying this. It looks pretty patchy right here, and I just keep going at it, and it's not moving it, and it's not helping it. It seems like maybe I just applied too much in that area, and that could be the issue because nowhere else that I applied it on my face looks really patchy the way that it does right here. So might have been a user error. Wouldn't be the first time. Next up, let's move on to the eyes. They have 2 brow products. First, this is the Easy Breezy Brow Micro Fine Define Pencil, and they have 4 different shades, and it's basically just one of those like super, super skinny, super, super precise eyebrow pencils for when you wanted like actually draw every single individual hair. Not my favorite, but it definitely has its place, and a lot of people are big fans of these kind of pencils. They also have the Easy Breezy Brow Sculpt and Set Pomade, and this looks very familiar. It looks a lot like the Benefit Ka-Brow packaging. It's maybe a little bit smaller, but what I'm talking about is the brush being hidden in the cap, and you can pop the brush out, flip it over, and it becomes not a full-size brush, but definitely something that you could rely on using on the go. It's just a little fine slanted brush that you just dip in, do your brows. I love this packaging. I really, really loved it whenever Benefit came out with it. I don't know if they were the first to do it, but it was the first brow product that I used that had this little setup, and I really, really appreciated it because I just hate having more things than I need, and if it can be an all-in-one, I just love it. I like that they copied. I'm not offended. I love a dupe, especially when it's in the drugstore. They also came out with 4 shades for this product, and I'm using 715. It looks kind of like a dark taupe, and I think I'm just gonna go in with this, and if I need the pencil, I'll go in with the pencil. I really like Ka-Brow. I used it as my exclusive brow product. Whoa, wait a minute. We are already encountering an issue. It's a little bit looser. By a little bit, I mean a lot looser than the Ka-Brow. Okay, it's on there. It looks like it's really on there, but it comes apart pretty easily. It's like a Lego, right? And sometimes Legos get a little bit loose. Do you know what I'm talking about? Is this an obscure reference? I hope not. But it just kind of slips apart. And so it's a great idea, but it has to be executed well for you to actually be able to use this as a brush. I mean, you don't have to connect the other part and you could just use it like this, but I got some big hands. I'm a big-handed lady. I need all of the brush that I can get. I'll just try to hold it together and we'll see how it does. Ugh. It was on my good side until it wasn't, basically. Let's see. Ooh. this shade might be like a slight undertone of purple. I appreciate a pomade. You can do your brows pretty quickly. I feel like everyone else just has a whole lot more patience with their brows than I do. I'm just kind of like, come on, where have you guys been? You're late, get to work. This brush is definitely not really wanting to stay together as I've been doing my brows, and I haven't been doing them very ferociously or viciously or vigorously, and the brush just like came apart in my hands. That, yeah, it has like no stick now. What's up with that? I used it once and it's like coming apart. Why? I thought I liked you, not so much. So I'm just gonna go to just using the little brush like this, which is still helpful. I still appreciate that a brush comes in it that you can actually use. Ignoring the brush flaw, I actually really like how this pomade goes on. It's easy to work with. I just messed up and I just wiped it off really easily, so it's not something that you can't mess up with, which is great for me. And it's pretty soft, and so you can really just kind of pack on the product on your brush and then get most of your brow done pretty quickly, which is something I really like. It might not be the most artistic thing to do, but if you're in a hurry, it's very nice. Actually, let's zoom it in. Come to me, my child. That was creepy. Anyway, these are the brows done with just the pomade. Definitely not pleased with the packaging anymore. What? It just snapped really good in that way, but the snap this way is really, really weak. Maybe I just got a faulty one. I don't know, but that's just a warning to you. I do like it. Maybe if you have a brow brush that you really, really love, that won't matter to you. But now I'm gonna go in with the microfine pencil just to fill in the front of my brow. I don't usually go this in depth with my brows. I don't show them this much attention, but I just want to try it because it's here. The color I'm using is honey brown. They also have a soft brown and blonde and another shade. I think this brow pencil is nice. It goes on easily. You don't have to like scrape against your skin to get the product to go out, but I also don't really think it is groundbreaking anyway. As a combination, I definitely really like these two brow products together. Of course, I probably could have just used this or just used the pomade. I really think they're both good options, but you'd have to, of course, know going in that the pomade brush is like a little bit wonky and very annoying. Also very annoying. Excuse me. Next up, before eyeshadow, I'm gonna use their lid lockup. It's supposed to just prime the eyes, get it ready for shadow so it can stay on longer, prevent smudging, and what else did you say? Intensify the color. This goes for $7.99, and this is the shade. It's almost clear. To be honest, I don't use an eyelid primer very much. A lot of times I just use concealer, and I did put concealer over my lids and powder. Hopefully that does not compromise the experiment. This is a very tacky lid primer, so it's probably gonna grab onto any kind of shadow that I put on top. But since it's almost clear, it's not really gonna like add any color or coverage or cancel out any veins that you might have, like I definitely have. They also included 3 different eyeshadow palettes. They have the True Naked Smoky Shadow palette and the Katy Kat palette. Actually, there was 2 palettes from the Katy Kat line, and to be honest, I don't usually have super high hopes for drugstore eyeshadow. That is just one thing that I feel like is just so much better whenever you go to the higher end brands, except now that NYX is more of a drugstore brand, or it's available in a lot more drugstores, that's a good option. I do like NYX shadows, but I decided to grab the Hot Cat palette to use on my eyes today. They're more like neutrals and plum shades. This looks like your everyday kind of LeighAnn palette, and I really appreciate that it has little cat faces on the palette. I'm very easily pleased, honestly. Actually, wait a minute. I think that I need to supplement the True Naked Smoky palette because they have a matte light color that I can use. Oh gosh, that is super pigmented. Good for you! I was not expecting that. But I like to add a matte white or off-white to my whole lid just to set whatever is on there and help blend all the other shadows that I put on top. I'm gonna use a little thing. Are y'all dying? Okay, I need to stop. Okay, to grab some color, I'm gonna get this kind of medium tone warm brown, and I'm just gonna go into the crease. Wow, that is majorly pigmented. I like that. I love to see it. I might have grabbed a little bit too much product. I'm underestimating them, and it's a mistake. Am actually just gonna bring it all the way down onto my lid because I like this color. But this is the lightest matte color in the palette, and so you don't really get a true like transition shade. So you kind of just gotta make this one work. I'm gonna try to blend out those edges. I went in a little too hard at the beginning. You gotta forgive me. Also, please forgive the fact that this eyelid is peeling. My skincare has turned against me. Okay, it looks like it's blending out really nicely. Just kidding. This purple shade right here is also matte and it definitely looks lighter than the brown, but I wouldn't really use this as a transition shade. Not on a daily basis, at least. All right, now I'm gonna grab some of this super, super dark brown and I'm gonna use it on the outer third in the crease and down on the lid a little bit. I don't know, I don't like this one as much. I definitely like the lighter brown a lot better. It was way easier to work with. This one is kind of patchy-ish. Patchy-ish. It is a very technical makeup term. Don't you question me. I don't know, guys. Maybe it was just like the perception that I went into it with, but I'm not really liking these shadows. They're pretty hard to work with, but I'm gonna try to finish out the look and I'm gonna use this really nice purpley pink sparkly shadow on the lid. I'm actually gonna use my finger just to like make sure it gets packed on there. Ooh, I like that. I'm sure with a wet brush, you could even get more payoff. You could also apply it a little bit more precisely than with the finger, but I really like the payoff with this eyeshadow. Final thoughts on the eyeshadow. It's okay. You can create a decent look with it, and it's a really good price point. It's $9.99, but I'm not crazy about it. I'm not looking forward to using it again. I guess in a pinch, it would be fine, but it's definitely not a new favorite, which is kind of what I expected. Next up, this is the Get In Line liquid liner, and it's supposed to be amazing and groundbreaking and so much easier to use than any other liquid liner. That's not exactly what they said, but it's kind of what they said. Because of the handle, it's contoured and it's a really, really fine tip. So you have a lot of control. They have 5 shades, a teal, a brown, and then 3 blacks. One black is crystal, which is glittery, and then a matte black and a vinyl black, which is more of a shiny finish. I have the matte one here and we're gonna see how it looks. Oh yes. I can definitely already tell you this applicator is super precise and you can get a really, really, really fine line, which is very important to me because I don't have a lot of lid space. And so if my liner gets thick, it shuts down all of my eyeshadow dreams immediately. And I don't like that. And it is super, super black. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of a wing and this will further the test for sure. So when I tried to extend the wing, it was slightly skipping, and so there were gaps that I had to go back in and try to fill in, and so the wing started to get a little bit thicker and thicker, and it wasn't really the shape that I intended to get. It could be a user error since this is the first time I've ever used it, but I definitely really liked it for the thin, precise line I could get across the lash line, but for the wing, I don't know. Let's do the other one. This side definitely came out better than that side, so I think it could just require a little bit of practice. I do like the color. I love that it's matte. So I'm gonna keep playing with this one, but I don't know, I'm on the fence. Next up, we have mascara. This is the Peacock Flare, and I grabbed the non-waterproof black. They have 5 different shades, and then I think also a waterproof. I have lash extensions, so it's not completely fair for me to try to like review a mascara since I'm technically not supposed to be using it, but I'm gonna kind of use it and just see. It's supposed to be a very volumizing, but also defining mascara. Just coming out of the tube, it looks really dry, which always says volumizing to me. It seems to be adding a little bit, but it does seem really dry. It's not depositing that much mascara, which is nice if you're really scared of clumps. I don't know. It's nothing to write home about. Also got some of it on my face. Whoops, I just realized I did not put any shadow under my lash line, and so I'm just gonna add a little bit before I do my mascara on the lower lash line. All right, back to mascara. This brush is kind of crazy. It's all twisty and it doesn't look like it's getting a ton of product stuck on it, which is nice to prevent clumps. This seems to be working really well for the lower lash line, but the upper lashes are a different story. Not bad, not great, but not bad. All right, now to highlight my eyes, I'm going back into the shadow palette. I'm using this one, which is really, really pretty. And I'm gonna use it on my inner corners. Oh, I like that. That is super highlighting. Oh, I would use that on my face. That is beautiful. Oh, I love it. And I'm gonna use just a little wee tiny bit under my brow. Next up, there is a makeup setting spray. It's called the Look Lockup All Day Setting Mist. It's supposed to just like lock in your makeup, make it not settle into lines, all of that stuff. I'm gonna shake it up. No, no. Oh my gosh, are you seeing this? I'm not sure if you can see this. I really don't want to get it on my lens, but oh, do not use this. Oh, I have to like very quickly go in and try to like blend it out, which is not really what you want whenever you're setting your makeup. It like spit. You know how whenever you're using like a cleaning product, how you can switch it from like spray to squirt, or I don't even know what the terms are, but like one of them is like one small stream and the other is like a finely dispersed mist. This was more of like the stream. It like spits out a lot of product, so maybe I need to just go further away. That's a little better, but it definitely concentrates in the middle. Like this brow right here is like wet, and it definitely has a lot of scent. It's like a watermelon Jolly Rancher. Yeah, I didn't enjoy that. Not at all. Okay, now this part is gonna be tough. They included a bunch of lip colors. They have the Katy Cat glosses, which how cute is this packaging? It has a little cat face on the top. These are matte liquid lipsticks, beautiful, vibrant colors. And then there are also even more in the top. Okay, I'm very torn. There are a lot of beautiful shades in there. Glosses, matte liquid lipsticks, everything you want, but I'm gonna be going for the Melting Pout Matte Liquid Lipstick, and the color is 315 All Nighter, and it's just kind of like a brick red, it seems. Let's just see. All right, this is not a brick red at all. This is a bright in your face fuchsia, and it smells like Fruit Loops, which I don't really love all that much. Initially, I only put my applicator in once and I was able to cover my lips completely, and it doesn't look patchy. It definitely kind of thinned out at the end, but that's to be expected. But I am really impressed with the pigmentation. This is sort of a darker color. It's definitely a darker color for me, and it applied really well with not that much product. It's definitely super matte. It sets almost instantly, and it doesn't feel very heavy. I'm like surprised by how much I like this shade. I thought it was a red, but it came out more like fuchsia red. I can't really tell how it's coming out on camera, but it's really pretty. I really, really like it. Kiss test. I see a tiny bit of pigment, but it's almost nothing. I think it passed. All right, let's bring that hair down. That looks good. I probably should have just left it up. Let's just get a real up close and personal look at what this makeup looks like on my face. I don't think it looks very bad. Obviously, the foundation wasn't really part of the review that we're doing today, but that part looks nice. And I'm definitely all about this lip color. I think it's really pretty. The concealer doesn't look as bad as I thought it did under my eyes now that I have like powder and the whole look going. It's not as full coverage as I want, but it's probably okay. I probably want more coverage than I actually need. I think the brows look good. I mean, as good as my brows can possibly look. They're a little like wonky to begin with. All right, zoom out from my face now. So that is the whole look. Let me know what you liked, what you didn't like down below. Are you going to be picking up any of these products? I really hope this review was helpful for you guys to navigate all of the new CoverGirl stuff out there. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed. I'd love to have you back. I put out new videos every week, every Thursday to be exact. You can also find me on social media. It's LeighAnnSays absolutely everywhere, and I love to talk to you guys over there. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. Yes, I wear this skirt every day. Now that that's settled. It's trying to be funny. It didn't really work, huh? I think there are yard people here right now. Luna feels the same way about it as I do. They're not coming to get you, okay?